welcome back to my channel. It's Taylor. If you have not seen me before, then please subscribe to my channel and you can go and find all my other videos down there. Today I am going to be talking about hair, and I'm going to be talking about how I maintain my knotless braids. Now, I did these braids about 2 weeks ago and they are still looking really good. So I'm going to show you guys what my routine is on how I maintain my braids from the morning and how I go to sleep with them at night to make sure that my hair is being protective in this protective hairstyle and that I'm still looking glam like I want it to, because these took me about 7 hours to complete and I've only got 11 braids in my hair. So if you guys want to see my routine, keep on watching. Okay, so to start off with, my hair right now, I kept it in sort of like I plaited the plaits because I was just doing some chores around my house. So as you guys can see, and I'll show you a video, the braids are so long. They go all the way down to my butt, which is so much fun for me. I've never had braids this long and done them myself, and I've never had knotless braids before and then done them myself. So this has kind of been like a new experience for me. As you guys can see, like obviously everything is looking really fluffy right now, which is fine. It's expected. Like, I've had these braids for 2 weeks, so it's completely expected. And I'm just gonna show you guys how I refresh them. I've got 11 braids in my hair right now, so obviously I went for quite big partings. When I had originally started doing my hair, I didn't actually think I was gonna do knotless, and I didn't actually think that they were gonna be this long, but this is kind of what I decided to do in my own boredom, and they actually turned out really good. Now, when it comes to refreshing my hair, there's a few things that I like to use. I get a bowl where this is just a normal spray bottle and it's just filled with water. I like to have water on hand just because sometimes if products can get really clacky, if sometimes you use too much product and then you're like, I need to revert it, then water is really good to have on deck. I also use the Cantu leave-in conditioner. Now, what I did a couple of days ago is I washed my hair. Sometimes, you know, you can have build up in product from before or just while you've had your hair in braids. Sometimes for me, I feel like itchiness of the scalp can happen, which is again expected when you have braids. So what I do in that instance is I just wash my hair like I usually would. I apply shampoo to the scalp, really wash and take out any buildup, and then I put conditioner in, pulling it down as far as sort of where my hair goes. I don't obviously need to worry about conditioning and shampooing the synthetic hair. And then what I would do then is afterwards, when I get out, to try and control the frizz, I then get a blow dryer on a cold setting, not hot, cold setting, and just dry out the braids, and then I would do this routine. So it's really good just to kind of have a little routine when you're doing your braids so that you have a way to maintain them. So the leave-in conditioner spray is really good just to refresh my hair that is underneath growing. I also need edge control. I use the Shine and Jam Extra Hold Conditioning Gel. This is just really good. I smell a lot of products because I just want to know what my hair's going to be smelling like. It's a really good product to use just to lay down your edges, also to clean up any of the partings if you feel like there's any mess going on there. Obviously I'm working with quite big partings, so that's really helpful for me. I've also got a small little brush which is like this. Oh, sorry, it's got some baby hairs in it now. Use that brush just to lay down and smooth my edges. Then there's a few final things that I like to use. I have this little bit of red cloth which I lay down my edges with just to hold them down, and then if I'm getting ready for the day and I'm just about to go out, after I put all the products on my head, I need to make sure that I don't want to leave it out into the air, because with curly hair, when you put products in your hair and you leave it to air dry, everything's gonna just curl and get quite big and voluminous, and obviously I don't want that. So what I do is I will use this to lay down my edges, and then I will put a silk do-rag over my head just to keep everything down flat. So let's get into this routine and let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start by laying down the scalp. Now what I'm going to use is I'm going to go straight in with my leave-in conditioner spray. I washed my hair the other day, so I might not need to use the water bottle too much. I Okay, so once I've put leave-in conditioner spray onto my scalp, I don't really need to go back in with it because that is just to refresh and then just kind of get my hair like a little base of wetness, just so that it's easier to get everything slicked down. When I go in with my Shine and Jam edge control, what I like to do is I really like to just separate the braids so I can see what I'm working with. So I'm going to lift these bottom ones up and get started. So at the bottom I have got 2 braids, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a little bit of the control. I'm going to use about that much and I'm just going to go in on the bottom ones now. Okay, so once I've done the bottom 2, I leave them alone, don't touch them, and I will go in with the next row of plaits. Now when I did this, I've kind of really only got 3 rows of plaits, so they're quite easy to control. Now of course, anybody that wears braids, that does their own braids, that has somebody else do their braids, of course the whole point of kind of doing it, obviously yes, there is an element of like style and having something new, but probably the main reason why any of us get braids is because it's a protective hairstyle. So having a routine that you're going to do each morning to kind of protect your hair, to keep your braids looking neat, like it's all a part of keeping your hair sort of safe underneath. So washing my hair is all a part of protecting the hair, because if it's going to grow, I don't want it to be in bad condition. So as you guys can see, I'm really just smoothing it down. Okay, and then obviously working with the front braids, these ones are arguably the most important when you're doing your whole laying down, because they are the ones that are on the most show, the most obvious to people when they see you. So it's really important that you really lay it down. I think one thing that I've noticed with knotless braids compared to box braids, regular box braids, I do my own hair, so I do know the difference when I'm working with each one. And I think what you can tend to have with knotless braids is I just don't think that they last as long as box braids, because you're plaiting your own hair from the scalp and then adding down extension as you go. And your natural hair, I mean, depending on how large your partings are, mine are quite large because I didn't want as many braids, they can not unravel, but they can get a bit loose. So it's just something to be aware of. Okay, so I have done my edge control and I have laid down the hairs. Now I won't take too long doing this, because kind of now that there's product in my hair, I don't want my hair to get the chance to curl up and do anything crazy. Okay, I'm not going to do anything too intricate with my edges right now, because to be honest, for me, it's not that kind of day. But you can lay down your edges however you feel. It's such a good way to sort of express that final touch on your hair. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and I'm going to just lay it down where I've done my edges. And I'm just going to tie it at the back. And I like to tie this as tight as I can, because kind of I want the baby hairs to be nicely pressed down. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my do-rag. Now, if you don't have one, or your boyfriend has not left one at your house, then you can go and find these at your hair shops. Okay, so I'm gonna let my hair sit with this for about 10 minutes. You can probably do it for shorter if you wanted to put some cold heat on your head with a blow dryer, but I'm just gonna keep this in. And as you can see, the top of my braids, I can feel them, I can feel that product in there, and it's just gonna lay it all down really smooth. So that's what we want. So I will see you guys in 10 minutes. Okay guys, hi. So we are going to unravel, then I will be ready to go out. Okay, so, and this is me, and obviously now there's just so much less frizz. Everything's laid down flat, and now I feel like I'm ready to go out for my day. And that's a routine that I do sort of every morning, every other morning, depending on what I'm doing in the day, depending on how crazy my hair is. But there are ways that you can help yourself from having to do such a rigorous routine in the morning. And one thing is how you sleep. Now, I think when I first got braids, I had no idea how I was supposed to sleep with sort of all of these braids on my head. Not because they were heavy or anything like that, but just like, how do I sleep? I feel like I've got got an extra item on me. Now, what I like to do is I like to wrap my hair with a scarf. So you can take any kind of scarf, and what I do is I'll put it so that the corner is at the top. So I'm working with the corner, and I fold the corner down just a bit, not loads. You don't need to do it loads. And what I do is I take that and I put it over my head like this. Now what you do then is I take the other two corners at the side and I tie it underneath the braids. So I pull it out, cross it underneath so that the scarf sits over my head like so. And just making sure that when you're pulling it tighter, that the scarf is staying put on your forehead. And then what I do is I tie it at the top. Okay, once I've got that tied, I bring my braids round, and you should then, because you did it from the corner, you'll have a bit left. Now what I do, because the braids are obviously really long and then they're sticking out and we don't want this part to get frizzed up, I take the ends of the braids and I hold it around my hand like so, and I just start to wrap and curl the braids in. And then using this little corner as like a little pocket, I put the braids up there, twist this round and tuck it in. Now if your scarf isn't able to kind of hold that, then you can put a hairband at the end and then tuck that in. But that is how I sleep with my braids in. And as you can see, like all the braids are now in, they are covered. This scarf is silk as well, so my natural hair is getting that really good. So it's silk as well, so my hair is being fully protected underneath. I also sleep with silk pillowcases because I do not take any chances on my hair being damaged. And that's kind of my routine. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was really helpful. If you have any more questions or any ideas, or if you yourself have any tips for anybody else on how to maintain their braids, what your routine is, if you need any assistance or any idea of what products to use, drop a comment below. Please give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.
Not many can handle this. Unload off your shit, yeah, yeah. Promise you won't need to hear. I'll show you the best.